just going to move through time now, 1964. This is the next generation, Philip and Miriam. They're the parents of Popper. We'll hear more from him in a minute. The book is, one of the ways this book is organized is around addresses. I'm sort of obsessed, and my family's obsessed with past addresses of our lives. So I use that as another way to organize the book. So this is called 1444 North State Parkway, Chicago, 1964. It's in honor of when Democratic politicians were tougher. No offense to our current, because he's going to get tougher. He's tougher. Philip, in front of the TV, wagging a drink, he says, Johnson leads Goldwater by 65,000 votes in Kansas, in bleeding Kansas. Miriam, in the kitchen, making herself a martini, her one-year-old son, Leo, draped over her shoulder, balancing himself, his little legs and arms reaching. She says, and if Kansas goes for Big Daddy, who else can resist? It will pass. These two aren't naive. Good news always does, a lot quicker than any other news. They know that tomorrow will be another tomorrow, and they'll again wake up alone, not lonely, alone, and wonder why. Why so alone if we're here together? Right now, though, they turn out the lights and go to sleep, but keep the TV going in the living room all night, half listening. And the baby Leo sleeps in his crib to the lullaby of a landslide. The television talks in the dark. Chet Humley. We've received word from Providence that Lyndon Johnson has taken 89.9% of the vote in Rhode Island. Philip mumbles. Khrushchev doesn't get 89.9% of the vote. Come here. Miriam. I am here. Philip. I mean here. All the way with LBJ. Miriam laughs. She laughs. Because he used to make her laugh, his brother Leo would explain years later about the years before he existed. Explosive, croakish laughs. Leo said he used to lie in bed and worry his mother was choking. So now, it's 1974. Philip is running for office himself. It's called Phil Popper Phenomenal. Philip's campaign for the Illinois State Senate, 32nd District. Popper, he's now born and alive and whatever age, 6. Popper remembers the blazing orange bumper stickers, loud as crossing guard sash, emblazoned with the 3 Ps. Phil Popper Phenomenal. They were more common around the house than on anybody's cars. It was Miriam who came up with the slogan. It barely fit on the stickers. She was campaign manager and loved it. It got her out of the house. Phenomenal what? Philip had asked. Oh, just phenomenal, Miriam said. Those bumper stickers. And those Phil Popper Phenomenal pens that Popper used to like to take apart and then put it back together, minus the little spring, so that when somebody went to write with it wouldn't work. His father gave anti-Nixon speeches to small, yawning audiences across Lake County, Miriam applauding wildly. At home, they strategized at the kitchen table late into the night. You're not connecting to your audience, Phil. Maybe I should talk more about Vietnam. Vietnam is over, Phil. Is it? I read the other day it was still going on. That Kissinger and Ford. Don't save the country, Phil. Nobody wants the country saved. What if you talk about crime? Crime? In Lake County, he said. People can't get enough of crime, Miriam said. When it isn't there, they still want to hear it's coming to get them. You need an issue people care about, or at least think they care about. My issue, Phil said, is I'm not Chucky Dolver. What kind of name is Chucky anyway? American. The two of them, Miriam and Philip at the kitchen table, their knees touching beneath the table. Between them, precinct maps, call lists, cold coffee, Sir Edmund asleep on his mat. He's the dog. The little TV on without volume. Sir Edmund Hillary. He's a lot of pops there. It's one of the other dumb jokes in the video. The late night movies on CBS. How do you feel about ERA? Miriam says. I like women. You know I've always liked women. I know, Phil. What about equal pay? Sure. The Zion nuclear power plant, what's your position? Of course they'd build a nuclear plant in Zion. I like that, Miriam said. You might even be able to use it, but it's not a position. I'm for the plant. No, you're not. I'm against it. No. Damn it, Miriam, I can't be both. You can. You love the energy source and the jobs, and you're scared to death of nuclear power. You can't sleep, you're so afraid of nuclear power. It depends on who asks and how they ask it. This is serious. I'm trying. You've got everything twisted. What I'm trying, I want to stand for something. But you don't, Miriam said. And since you don't, my thought is, all right, he said. People don't elect people. They elect visions of themselves. And you've got to do something to connect. I said, all right. Leo interrupts, strolling into the kitchen with his little brother, hostage in a headlock. What about the Crosstown Expressway, Leo said. What's that got to do with Lake County, Philip said. State's money is going to build it. You think the people out here want to give money so Mayor Daley can build another highway? There's your issue, Dad. Think local. Go back upstairs, both of you, Philip said. And by the way, if Mayor Daley wants to build a highway, I'm going to send you out there to help tar it, Leo. As a family, they went door to door. They handed out literature in front of supermarkets, the post office, banks, the A&W in Crystal Lake. In some place called Lincolnshire, Leo and Popper stood on a corner holding Phil Popper phenomenal signs for 3 hours until Miriam came to pick them up. Leo lied and said one person honked, and Miriam cheered, "See? We're getting our message across." Wait, what's our message again? Shush, Leo. During the last week of the election, they rented a double-decker London bus and wandered Lake County looking for votes in grand style. From a loudspeaker, Philip extolled ERA. You know, I've always loved women. On a side street in Lake Forest lined with oaks, a PPP volunteer named Gert Zetlin got hit by a low branch and knocked unconscious. A 22% drubbing. Chucky Dalver? The man died in office in the early 90s after 8.5 terms, and even then nobody much remembered he'd been in the legislature all that time. But there's this. In 1974, Philip Popper ran against him. And in October of that year, toward the end of the campaign, Gert Zetlin got upended by a tree and needed 18 stitches in her forehead, a fact that remains remembered in stone.